Inequality, greater than, less than. While the word inequality means two values that are not equal, in math, we are asking which is greater and which is lesser. Parentheses, we could simply use the not equal symbol, which is an equals with a line through it, if we only wanted to know the values were not equal. As an example of an inequality, given two numbers 10 and 5, which is greater and which is lesser? We write 10 greater than 5 using the greater than symbol, which has the larger side opening to the 10. This says that, quote, 10 is greater than 5, end quote. Students often become confused as to the meaning of the lesser than or greater than symbol. Most teachers explain that the open, parentheses, larger, end parentheses, side of the symbol is in the direction of the larger number. Others try to explain that the symbol is a hungry alligator and wants to eat the larger number, parentheses, meal, end parentheses. Interestingly, the statement works forward and reverse. If we flip the statement, we get 5 is less than 10, now with a smaller point toward the 5. In terms of flipping the statement, I always imagined a rotating advertising sign like they used to have at gas stations, with the center line of rotation down through the middle of the math inequality sign. As the advertising sign rotates, so does the inequality sign, as in 10 is greater than 5, where the large side is to the 10, and 5 is less than 10, where now the large side is still toward the 10, and the small side is toward the 5. Let's try another example. Given -6 and 2, which is greater and which is lesser? Any negative number is less than a positive number, so -6 is less than 2. Now the point of the arrow is toward the smaller number, or the -6, and the open side is toward the 2. Just to describe the greater than or lesser than symbol, it's two lines with which sort of meet at an angle at one side, and that's angle side would be the small side, the open side would be the large side. Parentheses, this statement can be rotated as in 2 is greater than -6, end parentheses. Notice the larger part, or the open mouth of the inequality sign, is toward the 2, no matter which way the statement is written. Again, in flipping the statement, the inequality sign flips along with the whole statement. The statement is read, quote, 2 is greater than -6, end quote, or, quote, -6 is less than 2, end quote. It should be noted that there are several ways to illustrate a, quote, greater than, end quote, or, quote, less than, end quote, relationship, one being an open dot and the other being a dashed line. The symbols for two things being equal would be a solid dot or a solid line. Open dots and dashed lines do not include the value, parentheses, or the value is excluded, end parentheses. Solid dots and solid lines do include the value in question. That brings us to a compound statement of greater than or equal to, which is the combination of a greater than symbol with one line of an equal sign, and less than or equal to, which is a combination of a less than sign with one line of an equal sign, where an inequality symbol is combined with an equal sign. If we use a variable in an inequality statement, like x is greater than 5, we now have a set of potential numbers that could work. Any number above 5 up to infinity. The infinity symbol is the sideways 8. Infinity is not a number, but rather a concept of numbers that never stop increasing. If our statement is changed to x is greater than or equal to 5, then the set of possible numbers includes the number 5 and goes up from there to infinity. In the case of a compound statement, a solid dot or a solid line would be used because of the presence of the equal sign, meaning the number in question is included. Although more will be explained on this issue later, it should be noted that x less than 5 is every number below 5, all the way down to negative infinity. and the symbol drawn is a negative in front of an infinity sign, which is a sideways 8. Negative infinity is not a number, but the concept that numbers continue to become increasingly negative, parentheses, or smaller end parentheses, forever. In math, an inequality is a greater than / less than statement. Antonyms: equal, equals, equality. Related words: greater than, less than, greater value, lesser value, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, solid dot, open dot, solid line, dashed line, set.